What has Joe Biden improved? Just commenting to say OP's attitude and responses in this thread have been a breath of fresh air. It's refreshing to see someone with an open mind regardless of their prior beliefs. The last 3 presidents, both Republican and Democrat, civilian deaths from American drone strikes increased with their arrivals. Biden has changed this. Whenever Biden took office, innocent causalities from drone strikes plummeted. He further added new rules and restrictions to prevent civilian causalities from drone strikes. This is a practically unnoticeable thing to us American citizens. But it means a lot.
https:/www.cnn.com/2022/10/07/politics/dronestrikes/counterterrorism White House Biden new rules/index.html. He gave a federal pardon to all marijuana possession charges. He reinstated protections of national parks that was reversed by Donald Trump. He paused payments and interests on student loans, making it a lot easier for people to actually pay what they owe, without unreasonable interest rates. He made massive infrastructure investments that have begun work but will take a few more years until we really see the results. He's cutting the federal government's dependency on fossil fuels and saving tax money on energy payments by switching fleet cars to electric and installing solar panels on all federal buildings. He strengthened relations with America's longtime allies in Europe, North America, the Pacific, and the Middle East that all began to pull away under Donald Trump. Joe Biden isn't perfect. Democrats basically voted for him reluctantly because he was better than the other guy. But he still has made some serious improvements that I was really surprised by. But a lot of the big stuff take long-term projects that'll be a few years until we see the results of. He signed the Inflation Reduction Act, which included a cap on insulin prices for seniors at $35 for a month's supply. I think this was long overdue. I also lean conservative, but I, too, believe in giving credit where credit is due. We're finally out of Afghanistan. Big improvement in infrastructure spending and long-term planning. The federal government taking much more meaningful action to address climate change, making it harder to hide corporate profits overseas. In October 2021, 137 countries agreed to impose a 15% minimum tax on large companies, paving the way for the most significant overhaul of international tax rules in a century. Sending aid to Ukraine. Massive investment into infrastructure that has enabled much-needed repairs across the country. Strengthened NATO immensely and successfully coordinated the entire Ukrainian resistance. Historically, these are pretty significant achievements. I live in Missouri and we got $600 million so rural communities can have high-speed internet. It's a part of Build Back Better. Whatever your opinions on Ukraine are, he has firmly re-established trust in America's global leadership through his actions. My blood pressure. Maybe it's a little hard for me to see, because I do lean conservative. A thing that I don't see anyone mentioning is that Biden is actually a pretty conservative president. Running as a Democrat doesn't make you liberal, and it definitely doesn't make you left-leaning. 3 comments here. 1. A president cannot do much of anything major unless his party controls Congress and the Senate. That wasn't true of Trump nor of Biden. Really, the 2 Senate holdouts effectively meant Biden didn't have the Senate, so I wouldn't have expected either of them to get much done. And neither did. 2. During the Trump admin we were a global embarrassment. We backed out of treaties and deals, insulted our allies and generally looked like idiots. That's far less true under Biden. 3. I sleep much easier under Biden. Trump had to be talked out of launching nukes at North Korea because he thought we could just deny it. That's the kind of horror show we all lived under from 2016 to 2020. I don't like Biden much and don't have much faith in him. But I don't worry about him nuking someone and starting WW3 in a temper tantrum. Not an American but as a follower of U.S. politics. 1. Got the U.S. out of Afghanistan. 2. Historic infrastructure bill. $1.2 trillion. 3. Gigantic job growth and, post-COVID, economic recovery. 4. Gun safety measures increased background checks for these 1821 and boyfriend loophole. 5. Largest investment to combat climate change in U.S. history. 6. College debt relief for those making under $125,000. 7. Prescription drug cost cap for seniors on Medicaid. 8. 15% minimum corporate tax rate, i.e., making sure giant corporations pay their fair share. 9. Rejoined the Paris Climate Agreement. 10. Invested in the IRA so they could afford to go after tax cheats. 11. Reduced healthcare premiums under Affordable Care Act by $800 per year. 12. Backed NATO in support of Ukraine. 13. COVID relief payments. 14. Massive reduction in child poverty. American Rescue Plan. Honestly, there is a lot you can say about Biden, but he has definitely accomplished a lot in a short period of time. He's reduced the drama and reintroduced something closer to stability and predictability. You can agree or disagree on policy issues, as we always will to some extent, but as the most prominent official of such a powerful and wealthy nation, we need at least the impression of adult behavior. I know this is a divisive speech, but Biden does a good job of recapping his big achievements. Starting at 15 minutes into his speech on democracy. https u2.be/gemwiv2vsic. I lean conservative as well. He brought dignity back to the White House. Don't get me wrong, I like many of Trump's policies. But the man had no dignity, no class, no compassion. I really didn't like many of the things that made others hate him. President Biden has dignity. While I don't like as many of Hollis' policies, I do like the way he does the job. And that is worth something. He got a road and bridge repair bill through. Something Trump said he would do, but yeah, I will just leave it at that. Trump half-heartedly floated the idea of contracting private companies to run America's roads, which would have turned them into toll roads. That was his plan. Lol. As someone who leans fairly hard left, I appreciate what I've seen from your comments as someone who's trying to listen to both sides. It's a good reminder that I should be doing the same. I hope your week treats you well. From an outsider's perspective, if nothing else, he's made the USA a bit less of a laughingstock internationally. As someone from outside your borders, I really have to say, I don't really like Biden a ton. I liked Bernie Sanders. But I think I speak for a ton of people when I say he's improved your reputation dramatically. It was turning into a banana republic going into a tailspin for 4 years. And I'm not taking a dig at your politics, but the lack of respect for the United States internationally was nearly universal. Internally as well, like the NBA champs refusing to visit the White House. And it's far better now. Again, I don't really like Biden. I think he represents what's wrong with the Democrats on many levels I'm sure we agree on, and others we don't. I think he should be way more left-wing. But beyond where either of us lean, I think I'm speaking honestly. This is how everyone else feels. Biden is an old man, and that comes with old man suit FF. But your country is much more respected in virtually every way now on every level of our global society.
And that's an overall improvement for just about everyone IMHO. I really like your sincere question and wanted to give you a sincere answer. Cheers!
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.